Hi there guys, welcome back to my channel. Been asked to show how I pop signatures into a journal, and that's what I'm going to do today, to share how I put these two signatures into this sunflower journal. Now, first and foremost, the things you're going to need. You're going to need some card. You're going to need a ruler, pen, an awl, wax linen thread or twine, and a sturdy needle to pop your signatures in, either scissors or a paper cutter, and a book block, an old book block or a directory or something that you don't use to actually lean on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, and bulldog clips. We need bulldog clips to secure everything in. Okay, first thing we're going to do, you're going to need to get a ruler and measure the inside of your spine, and make sure that you measure it so that once it's closed, you've got the right measurement of how wide the template you need to make. So I've measured the width, and that's 2 centimetres, and it's 19.5 centimetres long, and that's when it's closed. And I've already pre-cut a piece of card to that length, which you see here. Okay, so you pop it in. You check, you close it up again, make sure that it's secure, and then you secure it top and bottom with pins or whatever you've got, safety paper clips, whatever. Okay. Always mark your top and your bottom of the. That's really important for placement. And then you take your signatures. We're going to do the 3 hole pamphlet stitch. So what I've done here, as you can see, to get the centre of the where the centre hole is going to be, I've just folded it in half, and then I'm going to do just mark across the centre of the centre of the template, and then I'm going to fold it the other way, as you can see, and that will give me the middle, so I can get the true centre measurement of where to start, where we can place our holes evenly from the middle of the book. Okay, so that's the centre hole, and 4 centimetres from the top and bottom, I've decided on this one, is going to be where the other holes are going to be, and I draw a line across so that I know that that's where my top and bottom holes are going to be. Okay. And then I've decided, I think it's probably maybe 0.5 of a centimetre from each way from the centre. That's where I'm going to kind of aim to put my holes, although I might move them a little bit closer to the edges because there's quite a ridge on the spine of this book, and I want it to lay flat. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I want it to lay quite flat. So pop that back in after doing those 3 holes, as you can see. You always start from the back for some reason. There's 2 signatures in this one, and you always place the back one first and then move to the front from there on. Okay, so now what I'm doing, my signatures are just a little bit short of the top and bottom, and I'm making sure that I make a mark on the actual template of where I want the signatures to lie top and bottom, and that will make sure that they're not sticking out at the bottom or at the top. So when I place the holes in the signatures, it will be in the right place. So, right, pin that in or clip it in, get your awl, and then that's where you need to go into your little text block or whatever. And I'm checking again that I've got the right height of the signatures, and then I'll make my holes with my awl. Make my holes with my awl onto your text block. So as I said, it could be anything. I don't know if you have telephone directories where you live. We don't really have those anymore. Old catalogue maybe. Just to sort of lean on when you're making your holes. So there you go, really going for it, making these holes through your template and through the spine of the book cover. Okay, when I first started, I didn't have a bookmaker's awl. I actually used a thin screwdriver which worked okay, to be fair. It worked all right, but I did find I got a bookmaker's little set, I think, from Amazon, and it had a couple of awl and then the bone folder thing and some of the threads as well and needles. So that's really useful. You can get those for about £7, I think. And some even have clips, bulldog clips and things so that you can clip everything together. So I really go for it, as you can see, and make sure that it goes all the way through. And you have to do that quite pronounced when you've got fabric on the back of the spine. Make quite a pronounced hole so you can see what you're doing. And later I'll make a little marking on the top at the back and front because of the lace, and I mark roughly where the holes are. So I'm just going through that again, just making sure everything lines up. And I really have the holes gone all the way through to the outside of the cover. Right, now we're ready to pop the signature in. First thing you do, go through, do a little check. Make sure that your pages are placed where you want them. And more importantly, make sure that you haven't inadvertently put something upside down. I've done that. Anyone who's made journals will tell you that that's the case. Now, because the centre picture is a little bit short, top and bottom, I've pinned them in with little paper clips where I want them. Then you you put your bulldog clips on, well, where I'm putting them really, just to keep everything in place. Make sure that it's really, really snug, everything's snug in right to the fold, and put your bulldog clips in. And then you get your template that you've made for your book spine. Open up your catalogue. Now at this point, guys, when you first start, you might want to place your template in. Now can you see I'm actually placing it where the holes need to be for that second signature. You might want to paper clip those in, that template in yourself if you're just starting. I'm quite happy just to hold it. So I position it where I know it's secure top and bottom. I've got the where the top and bottom meets the lines, and then on an open page, so you've got like a fold to go down into, I go right through all of the pages with the awl. Give it some welly, as they say over here. Really go for it. So that's 3 holes, and I line them up. As you can see, I'm lining them up with the template, and that's where it's really important to have your top and bottom, and make sure that when you do that on your template, your holes, that you're actually at the top of the page and at the bottom of the page. Okay, and here I'm just making sure that I've got the 3 and that I can see them on the outside, that the holes have gone all the way through. And then I just go over it with a little bit of ink, because where the paper comes through, it can come through a little bit white. With my linen thread, normally I would go for 3 times the length of the page, and that will give you lots to play with. So as you can see, I'm going in first in the centre. I'm going in from the inside, I'm going to the centre and finding the hole on the back. And then once you've taken it through, yes, that little bit of the end bit you would want to secure with a bulldog clip. And then you go down. Off screen, aren't I? I'm off here, but you can see I've gone down on the outside, and then I've gone through again on the centre. This is for the 3-fold hole pamphlet stitch. Take it through. Try and make sure that you don't pierce the thread as you're going through. And can be a bit fiddly, but it's worth it. I'm trying to find the hole again. Can you see where I've marked it on the red? Because the lace really hid the hole. So I've brought it through again on the top. And then I go through the middle again from the inside. Make sure you pull it taut so that everything is as tight as can be. Bring it through again the middle. And I take it through the bottom. So I take it twice through the bottom hole because it's easier for me to see. That's, or it could be the top, depending on where you want to go. So I've done it once on the one and then twice down the bottom. And then on the inside, really pull it through. And then I try to pull the, well, you can see what I'm doing. Go through the top with the needle, and then the bottom signature again. I pull the needle through, so the thread comes through from one side to the other, and that means that you've got like a really good basis for tying your knot. And you've got the threads that comes out on one side and the other one comes out on the other side of the center signature. And I keep on knotting it. This time round I am going to just do a bow. I really knot it quite a few times, to be fair, so that it's really, really secure. And then I do a little bow. Or you can leave them loose if you want them longer than your book, to hang things on the bottom. Sometimes I've done beads or whatever on the bottom. You can. But make sure that your knot is really, really secure. So, second signature, we're doing the same again, doing the cursory check, just to make sure everything's fine. Stand it on an even surface to make sure that everything's even. Now's the time, if anything's hanging over, you trim it. Make sure that nothing's hanging out over the cover of your signature. And make sure it's really snug into the fold, and place your bulldog clips. Okay? That's me faffing about. And I think what I did here in the end, did I turn the camera off? I think I had to do a bit of trimming. Came back in and carried on recording. So yeah, I've got the template out again, as you can see. And now I'm using the other set of holes. They're probably just the same, but just to make sure, I've used the other set of holes that will correspond to the holes of the on the cover in the spine. And I'm using those for the first signature because that's where the first signature is going to be popped in. And again, I'm just holding it, but if you're not sure when you first start, place your template, I would say, pin them in, clip them in. So I'm really making sure that it goes right through to the back there. And I've gone through, once the holes are visible, I'm just tidied it up a little bit with a bit of ink. And just placing, if you've got a spare bulldog clip, it's nice just to clip the other signature out of the way. And once again, can you see I've done the first, I've done 3 lengths of thread, and I'm going in through the centre on the inside. That's taking the needle through the centre and then putting the excess to hold on the inside with a bulldog clip. And it takes a little bit of manoeuvring sometimes, particularly as you've got more signatures in and you get into the front. A little bit fiddly, but not horrendous, as long as you make sure before you go, you start, that your holes really are quite open. I've done that before when they're not really open and you have to struggle a bit, and it can be a bit of a pain, not going to lie. So yes, go through out the outside and then back through on the inside. Put it through again. Make sure you don't pierce or get caught up in your thread that you've put through before. And then you take it down to the bottom. You see, I'm just making sure everything's lining up. Really pull it taut. And take it down to the bottom. And then put it through at the bottom or the top. Anyway, down to the opposite end. Really pull it taut and then make sure everything's as it should be. Take it through once again the centre to the outside of the spine. You see, I think initially this was a bit fiddly for me, but it came right in the end. And I've just gone for the bottom whole of this one because there's no lace there and it's just a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. Eventually, we do get there eventually, honestly guys. Yeah, actually I have done this before. Somebody asked me if I'd actually done one of these videos, and I did one when I very first started my channel. Oh, it was like War and Peace. It's before I knew how to edit anything, and it took an age, so they're still on my channel but yet unpublished. Might do it one day for a laugh, and if you've got a couple of hours spare. But there again, you see I'm taking the thread through to the opposite side of the centre stitch there. And that's it. I'm trying to just get it as it should be. Really, really tie it as tight as can be. As I say, I do 2 or 3 knots. I knot one way and I knot the other as well, just to make sure that it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And I do a little bow, or you can leave them loose. So there you have it. There you have it. All that's left to do, I think down the bottom, I'm going to trim the fabric on the. Oh, pages look lovely once they're in. Enjoy, guys. Take care. Bye bye.